I guess before entering into cloud computing, just we'll talk about life before cloud. So what is life before cloud? So first one is invest upfront, and the next one is rent server from a data center. Right? Let's see the first one. That's invest upfront. Right? Here, if any organization wants to set up their own servers or own infrastructure, right, they need to invest huge money. Why? Because based on according to the organization's capability, they need to purchase one server, more than one servers, like file servers, exchange servers, like mail servers, client servers, and all these things, right? Once they purchase these kind of servers, they need to maintain staff. That means they need to maintain network engineers, they need to maintain system administrators, so on, right? And one more thing is they need to pay more power charges, and the security is very important aspect. The physical security, that's very important thing. So this is the problem in invest upfront, right? And second one is rent server from a data center. What is this? So basically, if the company organizations doesn't have that much of capital to spend that much of money, then they go for second thing, that is rental basis. So the organizations go and choose this option. But the thing is, when they want to get a server on a rental basis, they need to sign on an agreement, right? So when they sign on this agreement, from that day or that second onwards, they need to pay the money for that server till that agreement will be lapsed, right? If you use that server services or not, it doesn't matter. You need to pay it for that much of contract period, right? Obviously this is expensive, right? So let's see what is life after cloud. So an API call to spin up server and running. So whenever you make a call to a server using APIs, that means application programming interfaces, this counts as an API call. And the second one is no need to worry about electricity and physical security. What is this no need to worry about electricity and physical security? Obviously, we are not maintaining the servers, right? So we don't need to worry about the electricity charges. We need not worry about physical security for that, right? Then the next one is no long-term commitment. See, in the second one, the rent in the life before cloud, just watch the second option, the rent server from the data center. In that option, when we get that agreement, so that day onwards we need to pay. If you use that server or not, it doesn't matter. You need to pay for that complete contract period. But here, in life after cloud, no long-term commitment means if you are using that server for a half an hour or 1 hour or 24 hours or 48 hours, just you need to pay those charges only. No need to pay for that complete agreement period, like in the first option, right? So the last one, what is it? Yeah, can auto scale with business progress. What is this? See, let's take an example. Let's take Amazon. They will announce some sale days, like 2 days or 3 days. They will announce yearly once or twice. So in general, in normal days, their sale is just 40% or 50%. But in these offer days, they will get more than 100%. They will reach that much of success rate or sale rate on those special days, occasional days. So at that point of time, in those days, they need more data space. Why? Because obviously, if the server, the cloud capability is going to store only 1 GB of data, 2 GB of data, let's say, for example. So in special days, in those offer days, definitely they'll need more data space. Why? Because they will get more offers, more and more offers. So based on their sale days or normal days, they will increase the data space capacity, and after sale you can automatically degrade the scale, right? This is a very benefitable thing in the cloud. So let's take a small example to understand cloud computing as better. So if you are planning, if you want to plan a wedding, the vendors will provide 3 types of packages, right? What is the first one is, first package is we have only wedding hall, something like wedding place, wedding space, ground, whatever it is. And second one is, it includes the first package plus, that is wedding hall plus decoration. And third option is wedding hall plus decoration plus caterers, right? Then the same kind of things we relate with the cloud services. That is, one is IWS, PWS, SWS, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, right? Infrastructure as a service means only hardware is provided, right? Then platform as a service, that means hardware plus operating system both are provided, and software as a service means hardware plus operating system plus applications. All these 3 things are provided, right? Now let's talk about the history of cloud computing. Cloud computing is not a latest technology. Cloud computing has evolved or developed gradually through a number of phases, which includes grid computing, utility computing, application service provisioning, and software as a service. But overall concept of delivering computing resources through a global network is started in 1960s. Okay, the actual history of cloud computing is not that old, but the first business and consumer cloud computing services website is Salesforce.com, that was launched in 1999. Cloud computing is tied directly to the development of the internet and business technology, since cloud computing is a solution to the problem of how the internet can help improve business technology. Let's see. Cloud computing is one of the most innovative technology of our time. Of course, if we go back to the very beginning, we can trace cloud computing roots all the way back to 1950s, and the concept of time sharing. Before cloud computing, we have the concept of time sharing in 1950s. At that time, computers were both huge and hugely expensive. The size of the computer is also big, and it is more expensive. So not every company could afford to have one, right? So every company can't able to spend that much of money, and obviously they can't get those machines. So tackle these, user would time share a computer. Basically, they would rent the right to use the computer's computational power and share the cost of running it. In a lot of ways, that remains the basic concept of cloud computing today. What is time sharing actually? See, 2 companies or more than 2 companies, something like that, they will take the services of that servers or infrastructure or whatever it is, and they will share the time and they will share the money also, just like on rental basis, right? That is time sharing. They will pay how much time they use, right? So in 1969, the idea of an intergalactic computer network, or galactic network, means a computer networking concept similar to today's internet. Right? That was introduced by J.C.R. Licklider, who was responsible for enabling the development of ARPANET. ARPANET means the full form of ARPANET is Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. What is his main motto, or what is his vision? For everyone on the globe to be interconnected and being able to access programs and data at any site from anywhere, right? So his main motto is to connect everybody on the globe to be connected and being able to access programs or data, whatever it is, whatever they want to access at any site from anywhere in the globe, right? So coming to 1970s, in 1970s, the creation of virtual machines took the timeshare model to a new level. Right? This development allowed multiple computing environments to be housed in one physical environment. Whatever development in 1970s, that is virtual machines. So these virtual machines allowed multiple computing environments to be housed in one physical environment, right? So this was a key development that made it possible for the cloud computing we know today to develop. So using virtualization softwares like VMware is a virtualized software. So using this, it becomes possible to run more than one operating system simultaneously in an isolated environment. See, so let's say, for example, we have a Windows machine. I want to run the Linux on the same machine, Linux on the any other operating system on the same machine. So for that, we can use VMware software, virtual machine software, right? It was possible to run a completely different computer, that is virtual machine, inside a different operating system, right? So coming to 1997, so Professor Ramanath Chellappa is often credited with being a person who coined the term cloud computing in its modern context. At a lecture he delivered in 1997, right? However, some months before this, in 1996, a business plan created by a group of technologists at Compaq, of course you know the word, what is Compaq company, it also used the term when discussing the evolution of computing. So while the source of the expression might be in dispute, who is announced this, who used this term cloud, as Ramanath Chellappa or Compaq, that is in dispute, but it is clear that the modern cloud was something that was being seriously thought about by those in the IT industry in the mid-90s, 20 years ago. Coming to 1999, so the arrival of Salesforce.com. The arrival of Salesforce.com in 1999 pioneered the concept of delivering enterprise applications via simple website. The services firm covered the way for both specialist and mainstream software firms to deliver applications over internet. So whatever applications or whatever software you want to use, you can directly their software. Salesforce.com company, they provide these applications or application softwares. You can use it by cloud. So coming to 2003, the first public release of Xen, which creates a virtual machine monitor VAM, also known as hypervisor, a software system that allows the execution of multiple virtual guest operating systems simultaneously on a single machine. So this helps to run multiple virtual operating systems on a single machine, a single PC. So coming to 2006, so of course Amazon expanded its business services, cloud services. The first was Amazon's first product is Elastic Compute Cloud, that is EC2. Simply they call it as EC2, which allowed people to access computers and run their own applications on them. So users or people can run their own applications on the Amazon cloud platform. Right? Then they brought out a simple storage service, that is S3, SSS simple storage service. This introduced as pay as you go model to both users and the industry as a whole, and it has basically become standard practice now. This is a thing when Amazon EC2, this Amazon people introduced this concept, pay as you go model. How much you are using, how long time you are using, pay just for that only. So this is applicable to individual users or for organizations, both. So now just entire globe is following the same thing. This is for now.